Welcome to another episode of Should You Take That Case with your host, Lisa Wade, your friendly neighborhood legal nurse consultant, owner of Wade Nurse Consultants, and creator of our private LinkedIn community, the Attorney Medical Record Resource Group. That is where we get all of our stellar attorney guests. The goal of our show is to be a resource for legal professionals who pursue medical cases by sharing their experience and insights as defense or as plaintiff attorneys. You can catch prior episodes at www.wadenurseconsultants.com/blog, on LinkedIn and on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more. Now here's the host of Should You Take That Case, Lisa Wade.
Hey there, everyone. Welcome to another Medical Record Monday and a brand new episode of Ta-da! Should You Take That Case? It's me, Lisa Wade, your host, legal nurse consultant, medical record expert, and owner of Wade Nurse Consultants. Think of us when you have tons and tons of medical records that you need translated into normal human language understood by judges and juries. Visit us at wadenurseconsultants.com. And not only am I the owner of Wade Nurse Consultants, but I am also the creator of the Attorney Medical Record Resource Group. That's our wonderful private LinkedIn group where we get all of our wonderful attorney guests for our show. It is what we use as an opportunity to get to know one another. And we're going to do that today with our guest, Paul Campson, Esquire. But before Paul comes out, we are going to scoot over to the comment section and we're going to take a look. Is anybody visiting us live today? Or even if you're catching us on the replay, it's wonderful to have you. Put an A into that chat if you're an attorney, a P if you're a paralegal. But if you are a part of a wonderful group that I am a part of, Women-Owned Law, put a W into that chat. Because Women-Owned Law, it is a wonderful, groundbreaking group that is connecting and advancing women legal entrepreneurs, but with the primary mission of empowering women lawyers to achieve success in the business of law. And get ready and save the date, April the 19th. We are going to have a symposium in Philadelphia, and that'll be at the Thomas R. Klein Institute of Trial Advocacy. So go over to womenownedlaw.org if you want to learn more about that group and that symposium. And again, thank you everybody who is with us on the replay, catching us live. Thanks for taking time out of your very busy days to be with us. But now it is time to introduce our guest for today. And that is Paul J. Campson. He is an experienced trial lawyer who has successfully litigated personal injury cases on behalf of injured plaintiffs in the Supreme Courts throughout New York, as well as in federal courts. Paul is an experienced lawyer with motor vehicle accidents and work injuries. Paul was recognized for his pro bono work on behalf of the victims of 9/11 by the Association of Trial Lawyers of America and Trial Lawyers Care. Prior to his career in law, Paul was a member of the Carpenters Union, United Brotherhood of Carpenters. Experience and expertise. He's gained experience and expertise that has helped him become an expert within the fields of construction accidents and personal injury. Now, I bring to you Paul J. Campson. Welcome, Paul.
Wow. Thank you, Lisa.
You've been very busy, Paul.
I have been busy, yes.
Oh, man. Well, I want to know, how's the weather over there in New York first?
You know, it's pretty good. It's 50. You know, we're doing okay.
Well, excellent, excellent. It's about the same here. It's in Pennsylvania.
Yep.
It's good. It's good weather. We like it. We'll keep it.
Could be worse.
It certainly could. So, Paul, we are going to get into what goes on with medical records as part of your cases. But first, we want to hear about you. What got you into this whole law thing, this whole personal injury thing, and what keeps you there? Tell us all about you.
Sure. Well, thank you. Well, I was always a big reader of history and biographies, and a lot of the great men and women I read about had a legal background. And even if they didn't practice law, that was the foundation of how they went on to do great things. So that was very attractive to me. And I became a personal injury lawyer simply because I think I have an innate ability of sympathy and empathy and a real strong dislike for bullies. And I look at my clients as people who need representation against these insurance companies that are just trying to, put one over on them or take advantage of them. They may not have, the resources they need to fight back. And that's where we come in. And I love it every day. I love my clients and I love working for them.
Oh, excellent. Well, again, you are another justice warrior, and I'm so glad to have you here today.
Well, thank you. Yes.
And tell us a little bit about how you decide if a case is a case. Those lots of cases come across your desk. Tell us how you make that decision if you should take that case.
Yes. Well, first, obviously, we look at the liability, how the accident happened, and so forth. And then, of course, the medical records are the most important aspect of the case. And getting complete medical records, because sometimes hospitals will send you an abstract or there'll be pages missing. On a good day, I think it's just mistakes. On a bad day, I think it's more nefarious. But getting a complete medical record and medical chart is extremely important. And then going through the litany of abbreviations and medical terms, it's a lot. And you have to develop an expertise or hire somebody like yourself, Lisa, who has an expertise, because it's crucial to the case.
All right. Well, I can't fault you there. I think that's an excellent idea. So when those records start rolling in and how do you process them? Do you have a particular way or method to attack them to get all the good information out of there that you need?
Sure. So we have a one person whose sole job is to obtain medical records, because that in and of itself, as you know, is could be very challenging. The authorizations get rejected time and again. The hospitals, they just you get the sense they don't want to be bothered. So any reason they can reject an authorization or a medical request, they will. So you have to be, tenacious and persevere to get the medical records. And then once the medical records come in, that's when the challenge really starts, because depending on the type of injury, the nuance contained in the medical record, you really need a pro to digest it for you, to dissect it for you, to highlight what's really important. So it's crucial to get somebody with a real medical background to help you along with that process. And we're not too proud to hire, professional people who will take us through the process.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've come across a lot of attorneys, personal injury attorneys, that attack those records themselves. They get their own process together, and when they're handling, only a narrow version, a narrow type of case, it works out well for them.
Right. But if you go across the spectrum, if you deal a lot with car accident cases like we do here, sure, you get your, cervical lumbar injuries, your neck and back, and herniations, bulges, what have you, your impingements, and all of that, and that's all well and good. But when you start getting, fractures and open reductions and comminuted fractures and these type of things, what we try to do is we try to get like an Excel spreadsheet and try to list injuries and see where they pair up and what are the most common injuries. I tried a case 7 years ago. A little girl was hit by a car, and they were trying to say that she ran into the car as opposed to as the car hitting her. This was a lovely 12-year-old girl who was not lying, and the jury believed she was not lying. But what was great is I had spoken to a nurse beforehand, and she said the type of injury my client sustained is called a bumper fracture, meaning it's the typical type of case when a bumper hits a pedestrian of her size and weight. This is the exact accident that happened. And when I put that nurse on the stand and she explained that to the jury, game over.
Mm-hmm. Well, yes, nurses come in handy.
Oh, absolutely.
That's for sure. Now, you mentioned some things about, getting through some of the abbreviations that are inside of those records and then kind of organizing them and picking out what you need. Is there anything else that you find really a pet peeve of yours when dealing with medical records as part of your cases? Something you find annoying or frustrating?
Sure. So, well, sometimes the medical record copies are just atrocious, right? And you could barely get through it. And then even in this day and age with all this computers and automation and access to all of this type of improvements, these handwritten notes is enough to make you want to, get a new job. It's bad enough trying to decipher the abbreviations and so forth. And a lot of hospitals have a different, system, a little different way they enter notes and so forth. But when you get those handwritten notes, you really need somebody who knows what they're doing and who's been on the front line, if you will, to say, let me just take this record. I know what this nurse was going for. Let me digest it. And I think if you're all about streamlining your practice and growing your practice, that's something you should delegate to a professional. If I could probably do it in 4 hours, it may take my professional nurse 30 minutes, right? So
I got you.
Hire the pro.
Well, and it sounds like it leaves you room to work your legal magic instead of having to go peruse thousands of pages of records.
That's exactly right. My clients aren't hiring me for my medical background, right? They want me in court. They want me fighting for them, and I need to be armed with the most comprehensive document that I can bring into court to get them the justice they deserve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they don't want me managing their legal case either. So you do your job and I'll do my job.
That's right. Know what you don't know.
That'll work out. What you have had so much experience, it sounds like, and you have so many good bits of knowledge to impart to everyone that's viewing. How about this? Do you have anything that you haven't touched on? Something that you could impart to maybe new attorneys or even veteran attorneys, what to do when they encounter these medical or medically related kinds of cases?
Yes. Thank you for that. There are some really great CLE, particularly here in New York, that do medical legal classes. There are some really good textbooks. So I think you should get a foundation of the knowledge. Certainly, you need that. But you need that to also know what you don't know. And that's when you need the legal, the nurse, the medical professional to come in and fill the gaps for you. And together, if you have enough knowledge to ask the right questions for the the medical professional, then he or she can get you across the finish line. And as a team, you can really make it happen.
Oh, I like a team effort.
Team effort.
Work together.
Absolutely.
I like that. Well, I'm so glad that you've been here sharing all of your knowledge, all of your information. And I think it's time for a little Q&A, maybe. Are you ready to answer some questions?
Yeah, fire away.
All right. Well, first, we're going to ask anybody that's listening out there, get your questions ready. Get ready to put them into the comment section, and Paul is going to answer them. So while you're getting all of your questions together, we're going to take what I call a commercial break. And I'm going to tell everybody a little bit about Wade Nurse Consultants, but we'll be right back to Paul. Now, everyone is not always completely clear about what legal nurse consultants do. So I'm going to make that clear for you today. At Wade Nurse Consultants, it's all about review, research, and roadmaps. When we review medical records, we summarize and translate those records into normal human language, easily understood by judges and juries. When we research, we complete medical literature searches regarding topics attorneys may not be familiar with. And when we create roadmaps we do help you with injured clients by forming or providing life care plans, which detail their future medical needs over their lifetimes, including estimated costs of care. And now to recap, Legal Nurse Consultants at Wade Nurse Consultants, it's all about review, research, and roadmaps. Now, it's time to schedule a 15-minute medical case strategy call, and you can do that by clicking the calendar link you'll find inside this YouTube channel. And let's schedule a free consultation so we can chat. And now, let's get back to Paul. All right, Paul, it's time to answer any questions. Let's take a look. Do we have any questions yet? No, not yet.
Well, you know what, Lisa, if I may, you made a great point. There's nothing that increases the value of a case more than a life care plan.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
the
good.
Life care plan,
like that.
Yep. And particularly if you have an injury and you have a lot of coverage, a life care plan is your best friend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I like the idea. It is a plan of the rest of one's life and what kind of medical assistance, personal assistance, that they'll need in their lifetime related to those injuries that they've sustained. I like that whole life care plan thing too. Yeah,
it's because it underscores the permanency of it. It underscores it's never going away. 20 years from now, this person is still going to be suffering with that, and the life care plan is going to address that, and hopefully the jury will address it as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, even though I'm not seeing any questions for you right now, but I do have one question for you. Will you come back again?
Absolutely.
Oh, wonderful.
Anytime.
It's been a pleasure. So how about this? I have a solution. When we don't have our questions ready, we make sure that we put your contact information inside the description box of this YouTube channel, and people that are catching on the replay can reach out to you themselves. Does that sound like a plan?
Terrific.
All right. Well, I think we are winding down for this episode. So let me give a few reminders to folks that Women-Owned Law Symposium is happening April 19th of this year. And get on board as maybe a sponsor if you visit womenownedlaw.org and learn a little bit more about that. Get your name and your firm out there in front of tons of women, legal entrepreneurs and lawyers. And it's going to be a very wonderful symposium. So Now, let me remind everybody also to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel, Lisa Wade, LNC. And if you have any questions for me and about legal nurse consulting, life care plans, and medical record reviews, just visit me at lisa@wadenurseconsultants.com. Yay. But why don't you just tune in next week and catch us for a brand new episode Monday, 5:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for a brand new episode of Should You Take That Case? And thanks again for coming, Paul.
Oh, thank you for having me, Lisa. Look forward to seeing you again.
All righty.
Thanks for watching and listening to another episode of Should You Take That Case with your host, Lisa Wade, your friendly neighborhood legal nurse consultant, owner of Wade Nurse Consultants, and creator of our private LinkedIn community, the Attorney Medical Record Resource Group. That is where we get all of our stellar attorney guests. The goal of our show is to be a resource for legal professionals who pursue medical cases by sharing their experiences and insights as defense or as plaintiff attorneys. You can catch prior episodes at www.wadenurseconsultants.com/blog, on LinkedIn, and on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more. Thank you for subscribing to our YouTube channel and sharing this show with others.